Attention was recently drawn to a video post by a very brilliant individual. I must give it to him. I've watched some of his presentations before, and I consider him very, very intelligent. But in this particular post, and I'm talking about Vusi Thembekwayo, in this particular post, he was saying that what we need, okay, he puts it this way: you don't need motivation, what you need is discipline. And it sounds very good. But I'm worried on a certain level. Those who are thought leaders must be very careful what they dish out. And if people find what you say interesting, there's a tendency for them to embrace what you now say, which is not entirely true, hook, line, and sinker. And you can trust the gullibility of certain individuals. And so a lot of people are going to take off with this statement and make it like a personal mantra. And sometimes what it does is sabotage your own progress. Okay? So, is it really true that we don't need motivation? Is it really true that all we need is discipline? It sounds very good, and that's why a lot of people are going to get hooked on it. So, my first grouse is that I think we have to be careful about what we say, especially when you have a large followership or people who look up to you. So, my first argument is that we need both. We need both inspiration, we need both motivation and discipline. What discipline does is that it takes you farther. What motivation does is that it starts you off. Nobody can aspire to discipline without being motivated. That's what he missed out in his submission. So, do I believe in discipline? Yes, I do. Do I believe in motivation? Yes, I do. Motivation starts you on the journey. And nobody has ever achieved anything worthwhile that did not get motivated to do that. Now, what he will have said is that motivation gets you started, but you need discipline to take it through to the conclusion. That's what he missed out. It takes motivation to even aspire to discipline. Now, what we often do, and I've seen that a couple of times, is try to destroy a mental construct in order to establish, the importance of another, and it's unnecessary. I mean, you don't need to destroy motivation to establish discipline. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Okay, so you see a lot of people attack motivation, attack instruction, but you see, beyond motivation, you really don't have anything pushing you to do this. Okay, maybe we need to get to that point where probably we don't need motivation, but I think I'm going to be needing motivation all my life. So probably Vusi has gotten to that point where he doesn't need motivation, but I think that every great idea starts with a motivation. Now, what is even motivation? Can we ever live without motivation? Every great project has to be, inspired. And that's what motivation is all about. That thing that pushes you to even want to do something. Now, you could say it is not all that is needed, but you can say it is not needed. And while motivation may not take you all the way, it gets you started. And what gets you started? Now, remember, there are those whose problem is not even sustaining what has been started. It is even getting started in the first place. So, Vusi Thembekwayo, as much as I accept that you are a great fellow and you've made worthwhile contributions, I will argue with anywhere that you are wrong to say we don't need motivation. We need motivation, but as well as motivation, we need discipline.